Hey DIYers, I'm George from Alarm Grid. Today we're going to be going over how to adjust the volume on a Simon XTi and a Simon XTi-5. So today I have a Simon XTi on the board. Keep in mind the Simon XTi-5 is exactly the same screen, same settings, it's just a bigger screen size. So anything I say about the Simon XTi can also be used for the XTi-5. So today we're discussing on adjusting the volume of the siren. So this is, any chiming of a zone, the whenever you arm or disarm, the actual panel saying armed away, armed stay, or disarming, and any beeps that come after that. So for instance, right now, if I arm it, so I'm gonna do press to arm, and I do an arm all.
Doors and windows on. Motions on.
You're gonna start seeing it tells me what's happening, and it gives me my exit beeps, my exit delay. Um, if I disarm it,
Disarmed.
it also gives me the state that it's disarmed and a beep after to confirm. Now that is actually at the highest volume I have it set as. To adjust these volumes, to adjust any of these volumes, all you simply have to do is just hit the gear icon in the bottom right, hit the down arrow key. I believe it's just one time, and then you're going to see the voice volume and the beep volume. The voice volume is referring to the actual voice enunciation of the panel. It actually also, quite surprisingly, has to do with the actual button presses. So if I drop this all the way down to 1, you see my button presses, the volume lowered. If I higher it, the button presses actually went higher. So button press and voice enunciation all has to do with the voice volume setting. I'm going to drop it down to 1 just so you guys can see the max and the low. Obviously, if you guys go all the way down, it automatically mutes it. So there's none of that, right? So I'm going to leave it at 1 as that's the lowest audible setting. And the beep volume, that refers to any of the beeping confirmations for the system activity. So if you notice when I did an arm away, it said doors and windows, motions armed, and then it went beep beep. It also refers to the beeping during the exit delay. So if I drop this down to 1, you're going to see that that drastically changed as well. Now, after I'm done changing those settings, I just hit close on the top right. It automatically saves it, and you can go back in there and adjust it anytime you want. So if you guys didn't get the voice settings exactly correct the first time you wanted them, I'm sorry, if you didn't get them correct the first time you adjusted them, they're not the way you wanted, you can just go back in, hit the gear icon, down arrow key, and play around with those settings. All right. Once you hit close, like I said, it does automatically save it. And now if I do press to arm and I do arm away, you're going to see it's a lot lower. I'll get closer so you guys can hear.
Doors and windows on. Motions on.
So it's already significantly lower. The beeping also, the little exit delay, is also very low as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and disarm it using my master code.
Disarmed.
I'm going to get into one little caveat here that I do want you guys to keep in mind when playing around with the volume. If you guys are playing around with the volume, nothing is changing, your voice enunciation or your beeping, nothing is happening. It could possibly be that you, in the system programming, you guys may have turned the settings for that. You may have disabled it. So first thing I want you to check is this. Go to the gear icon, hit the down arrow key, and again, this is only if you're messing around with the volume and nothing is changing, right? The system's just staying quiet. No volume is being increased or decreased. So you go to system programming, you're in status and settings. I went all the way down to the last page. I hit programming. For here, you can either, I usually use my installer code or dealer code. Oop, it just backed me out. Let me go ahead and back all the way down. So again, gear icon, down arrow key. If you guys take too long, it does back you back out to the home screen. So keep that in mind. I hit enter on programming. I'm going to enter in, let's see if my master code works on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. It does take you to the basic system programming, which is actually where you can find Siren options. So you can use your master code, dealer code, or installer code. I use my master code, which is why I don't have as many options. If you guys use if you guys use your programming code or your installer code or dealer code, you're going to see here you get a whole lot more options. So the only one we're worried about getting to though is Siren options. So I hit Siren options. Now, remember the two little features I told you. If they're not enabled, adjusting the volume and increasing it or decreasing it are not going to make a change, right? So if you have these right here, panel piezo beeps, if you have it unchecked and you have panel voice unchecked, you've basically turned off the settings for that. So increasing or decreasing the volume for that, it will not make any change. You'll see right now, I'll show you an example. I'll go ahead and hit close. Close. I'm going to go back to the gear icon. And you actually have 4 different volume settings for each of these options. So if I'm going to actually increase it all the way high, and I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave it as high as possible. I'm going to hit close. And now, since I disabled that, the arming should not make any sound. You see, it doesn't say doors or windows. It doesn't give me my beeping so I know how long I have to exit. It's just completely silent. The button presses still worked, but the actual enunciation, the actual beeping, nothing is going on. Why? Because you have disabled the beeping alarm, the panel piezo beeps, and the panel piezo voice in the actual system programming. So you want to make sure you check those settings if nothing is working. But again, this was just a quick video on how to play around with the volume settings on the XTi and the XTi-5. If you guys do have any more questions, email us at support@alarmgrid.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you hit like underneath, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit that little bell icon so whenever we upload new content, you guys do get notified. I'm George. I'll see you guys next time.